to the recently canceled podcast with Von Fry.
Hey, how goes it? So, got a new episode of the recently canceled podcast for you guys. I'm doing good. Glad you asked. How you guys doing? You dealing with this weather over here? We got storms. Been a stormy day over at my place, but I think I'm gonna muster through this. Got 3 topics on hand for you. The first 2 I'm going to talk about in the free version of this podcast, which you can listen to over on the YouTubes. And that's going to be, just cut to it right here. My first stand-up comedy show. Second, I'm going to talk about this Russian bear at a soccer match stuff. And the last topic, that's going to be only for Patreon exclusive. $1 per month gives you full access to the recently canceled podcast, my commentaries, the whole shebang. Going to be talking about the problem with Apu. So, yeah, let's just get this out there. I have been offered a stand-up show at a legitimate theater, a real venue. Not just, hey, come to Country Club and tell some jokes. Come to the office. Come to the Marriott Convention Center showroom. No, this is an actual theater. There are some caveats. So I was approached to do this by a library in kind of a smaller Kansas community. There was, I guess last year during the summer, they had a comedian come by, and they thought, hey, that was a nice little event. Get another comedian, get some new jokes in there. Probably gonna have the same people show up for this next go at it. So don't want to hear the same jokes from the same guy. Bring in somebody new. And so I was reached out to, and I haven't accepted the offer yet. There wasn't a lot of money on the table. I mean, this is an hour's drive, and then an hour coming back, and honestly, between that and even prepping this material, it's not really a way to get rich. But it's nice to actually have a legitimate place to tell some jokes. Might be able to get my name up on the marquee. Maybe say something like Von Fry, not on tour. I think that's what I call the show. The biggest issue I'm having, though, with really accepting the gig is that this being with the library, they're expecting the material to be like PG, maybe PG-13 at the most, and I know I have jokes that kill at all ages, but I feel like you need some level of maturity to be playing with the references the way I do, and really to be understanding with what I'm alluding to. That said, I'm a little concerned about going completely off the rails and spitting out some jokes that are going to upset whoever's behind this. And hell, even if they say, look, you crossed the line here with this one, and then I could forgive you for that, but then you said this, withholding payment, 1-star review on this gig site where I've posted my availability for this. If that is done, I still got to play a venue, right? I still probably got a picture or two. Maybe met, my next wave of fans who are not going to check out my YouTube channel, right? Maybe, And as short as I am on money, and, I'm not getting the at least $50 a month coming in from you guys over at Patreon to really be supporting the show. I mean, hell, I'm getting 6% of my subscribers actually watch my videos. It tells you how much I'm disliked. I'm like shadow banned over here at YouTube. Can't make ends meet. Got to go do these scrappy little gigs. But it's an hour of clean material. No, I don't have, an MC, an opener, a featured act, and now I'm the headliner. It's just an hour of Von Fry. straight up unbridled. I'm guessing they're not checking off on my jokes beforehand. I'm a little concerned if I can get a solid hour of clean material together. I think I could give a strong 30 minutes and maybe find some way to pad it out. You know, what's the worst that could happen? I could just start taking questions from the audience, right? Or just do a little crowd work. I have some innovative ideas. Like, I've never seen a comic pull people up to the stage like a magician. For my next trick, I'm going to need a volunteer. Well, for my next joke, I'm going to need a volunteer from the crowd. And maybe I might even wrangle together some scratch, get like a t-shirt or something out there that people can pick up, you know, because with anybody on the road, really, it's like they're in the t-shirt business, and the jokes are just a means to selling the t-shirts. So I got to kind of whip that stuff up, and I may only have as little as a month to actually prep for this. But none of my contemporaries in Kansas, in Wichita, in my surrounding area, are actually playing theaters. So to see me have a theater, they're going to get jealous, and you can't buy that. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, yeah, I haven't actually confirmed if I'm going to do this yet or not, but I'm strongly leaning towards it. I don't know or think I can get video for you, but if I can, I might. In the very least, I would like to refine my bit, and hell, if I could get good video, maybe it could be my first special, you know, sell to Netflix. Hey, the world's crappiest stand-up special. Who knows? But yeah, that's some of the most major news I've had come my way in a while. So I thought, hey, maybe my fans over here on YouTube might get a kick out of that, and then switch off right quick. Yep, that's probably what happened. So moving along to topic number 2, I want to talk about animal rights hypocrites in relation to this bear over this soccer game. You may have seen this sort of thing over on Twitter. There's some news discussion about this. So, soccer match has a bear, I guess, throw out the first ball, or is that what it's doing? It's like, hey, I'm shaking hands with people, whatever, tossing the ball this way. Good bear, way to go. Oh, but Twitter's outraged. I'm getting so sick of the reactions over on Twitter. Twitter used to be like, hey, here's what I'm up to. How are you guys? I've got a question for you. You guys want to answer? Okay, cool. Now it's everybody giving their hot take on the news and how they're offended. And it's not just, oh, hey, here's my opinion. It's always, I am outraged that this and this happened, and we need to do something. We need to be better. We got to do better than this. Oh, so they beat that bear to the point that it's so submissive and it's sad, and it's gonna like play soccer kind of, but it's so pathetic. What a horrible human would do this, and you can't train a wild animal. This is an outrage. I mean, where's PETA when you need them? And that's everybody's attitude. And if you don't go along with that, you're a monster, of course, because that's the way things work now. But who is to say that this bear was beaten and that this caused any of that, right? There's some positive reinforcement. I mean, the bear expects a treat, did the trick, and then gets a treat, right? Isn't that kind of more logical? I mean, there was this bear. You've seen him in many movies. I think he was in The Bear. Was that the first one he was in? He was in Legends of the Fall, The Edge, Bart the Bear. This bear even appeared at the Oscars, I think in 1998. The bear was very well trained, very well behaved, could get close to people. I saw a video a few months back on this bear, and the trainer was speaking of the bear. And mind you, the guy's married to a woman, a human woman. And he's so sad when he talks about the passing of Bart the bear and how Bart was the love of his life, and the woman's kind of like, really? We're going to go there? But it made it quite apparent that this guy really cared for the bear that he trained. And there's I think Bart had a son, and this was a giant, like, Kodiak bear. This is a big mother, okay? And it wasn't something this guy was like, look, so I kidnap the bears from the parents, and then I train them up, and I get rich doing it so much. I don't think that's the scheming that was in play here. If you're going to be one of these PETA heads, and you own all these dogs, and well, it's a rescue, right? Well, then aren't you the cruel slave owner yourself? Oh, you rescued them? Oh, you took them captive. Oh, well, dogs were wild too. Over the course of thousands of years of slavery, now they're domesticated. So if you're going to say that you can't treat this bear the same way you treat your dog, don't be a hypocrite, okay? You want to free all the animals? Say no one can own any animals. Say that's not right. At least be consistent in your message. If you're going to be an animal lover, and then by animal lover, you probably own several cats because you're a crazy cat lady. See the word own here? You're cat slaves. Then let some other people have the pets they so choose, especially if they're willing to respect them. So, yes, a fairly short podcast here for those of you over on YouTube. I'm going to talk a little bit about this Trouble with Apu documentary, and as I've seen of it. I'm going to talk about that for the Patreon listeners. So, if you haven't signed up yet, it's only $1 a month. You don't know what you're missing.